All right, people, locks. I'm back. Now this is a tough one. Like this video, I was thinking, what am I gonna put up? What am I gonna put up? I hope the sound is good. You know, heat wave in New York for like the second week. We still got what we still got? We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We still got another 5 days at least of this heat wave left. But you know what? I want to talk about things that you've wanted or what you think you wanted to do. Like when you leave your house, wherever you stay, when you leave the place of your residence, you go anywhere, you got to be ready. You really got to be ready to lose everything just going out. You got to be willing to say, you know what? I could go out here, I could lose everything. You could lose your money, you could lose the clothes off your back, just everything. You could lose your life. You got to be willing to say, you know what? This is what I came outside for. This is exactly what is going to get done. This is what's going to happen. But at the same time, you got to be willing to, and like gamblers, they know, you got to throw it in a pot. You got to throw it in a pot. You got to make that, you got to be willing to make that sacrifice to get what you want out of whatever you're doing. You could be playing a game, you could be going to the grocery store, you could be going to get some freaking some other money. You could just be going to work, but you got to be willing to lose everything. It's a gamble, just like that game. You're playing that game, and you got that Queen's Gambit. You got to be willing to lose that piece. You got to be willing to lose that piece. This piece means almost everything. You got to be willing, when you play that piece, you got to be willing to sacrifice that piece to lose that piece. Something that you didn't see that could occur, you got to be willing to lose it. But I say that to say this, you got to be willing to lose it, but that means you got to go as hard as possible at the same time to want to keep it and to remember what you're doing all this for in the first place. So you got to be willing to lose it yet keep it at the same time. So what I'm trying to say is you gotta be ready to fight tooth and nail down to your last. Like let's say you got a whole squad of people. You gotta be willing to fight to the last man for whatever the objective was, and remember it. And you gotta remember at the same time, because sometimes it gets hard. That plight gets hard, difficult, challenging, whatever you want to call it. And then sometimes we forget, like as people, we forget, like what am I doing this for? And then sometimes you just relent and hey, whatever, you walk away. Sometimes it's times you have to do that if you're not willing to fight down to that last piece, that last little thing. But at the same time, you got to be willing to sacrifice that piece, give that piece up, so that you can get what the objective was that you even went out for, strove for to begin with. You know, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm looking for my mask. Like this. We have these masks. Now you put this mask on. You know what? This mask might not provide that much protection, but oh wow, dropping the phone. Hey, back to what I was saying. But like with the mask, got this mask here. I got to be willing to put this mask on for you guys. You know what it looks like, but in 15 years, when somebody watches this video and says, "What are you talking about, mask?" This is the COVID era. Just look up COVID-19. Look up pandemic 2019, 2020. And you see, I had the mask on. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but I got to put this mask on, because I got to give myself that other layer of protection. I got to be willing to lose what I went outside with. I got to be willing to lose it to gain. And remember, you got to keep that in your mind. You got to remember what you were even coming outside for. So I got to be willing to lose it so that I can gain more. And before you even go outside, before you even sign that paper, before you make that phone call, you send that email, you go out for that, whatever it is, you got to realize, hey, this is the objective. This is what I'm shooting for. And then you got to say, you know what? Remember it. Remember that objective, and go and carry forward. It's all about, sacrifices, planning. Planning is a big thing. But that's all I wanted to say, really. All right, you got to be willing to. You got to realize that you can lose everything, but you got to be willing to play those pieces. You got to be willing to move yourself around those pieces, because sometimes it's not really about the pieces. The pieces are set, and people say, "Oh, you move those pieces. You move those pieces." It is kind of like a big game. You move those pieces, but sometimes it's more about moving through, around, and navigating yourself around those pieces and putting your pieces around those pieces, not so much moving them. Because it's all out there. It's all out there. You just gotta navigate it. You just gotta know how to navigate it. And sometimes you can't always account for the unknown. Know that you really don't, you pretty much know nothing. So you think those pieces are set? You're like, all right, these pieces are set. No, the pieces do move. Sometimes you can't move the pieces. You got to move yourself around those pieces. But you got to be willing to go out there and fight hard, think hard, just do everything. Do everything. Give it everything you have. And that's what it really, how did this person become? How did that person, they had to be willing to give it every single fabric, piece of blood, tooth, skin, whatever, money, a loved one, sometimes their whole they got to be willing to lose everything. And you say, you know what, how did they got way up here, and there's so many people down here? Because when they were down here, they were willing to lose everything to get up that way. Because even if you're at bottom, you're down here, you can't even see down there, way down there. Even when you're at bottom, you still have things to lose. You still have love to lose. You still have your life to lose. Sometimes you still have family to lose. Sometimes you still got a little bit of money to lose. But you got to be willing to lose all of it. I'm talking about all of it, every single thing, to rise above. And how you do? You got to think hard. You got to fight hard, and you got to go out there and say, you know what? This is the objective. Now, no matter what, this is the objective. This is what I'm aiming for to get done. Sometimes you're aiming at something steps in front of it. Boom, I hit that. Oh man, didn't see the unknown. You got to account for everything. What's the thing the guy said? You know what? Things weren't getting done. All right, I'll do it myself. So he was willing to lose all those pieces. All those pieces, all those characters, all those parts. He was willing to lose all of them, and they couldn't get it done. So as the king, he stepped out on his own and said, you know what? I'll do it myself. That's what we got to be willing to do. Go out there, go as hard as you can. You've moved all your pieces. Things happen that you didn't account for because you didn't know. We really don't know anything except for our experiences. And then sometimes even your mind can play tricks on you. Like, I thought this was what I thought was going on. And you say, oh, wow. No, that wasn't it at all. Just be willing to go out there and give everything you got. Be willing to go out there and give 100%. All right, Stormlocks video is getting a little long. I'll see you guys later.